The last two figures I needed for this diorama was a pair of scientists. For the first one, I started by ripping the head and arms off an existing figure. I then fattened him up a little with some milliput, and used some putty to fill the space between his thighs, and then attached his head. The next thing I needed to do was demilitarize his pants. I used the same method for his lab coat that I did with my previous figures, and spread a blend of milliput and green stuff over his body, and then added lapels and pockets. I liked the folded arm pose that the original figure had, and I decided to keep it. Now at first I intended to make this guy bald, but then after some consideration, I decided to give him a full head of hair and make him look even less cool. For the second figure, I started by once again tearing his arms off, and then filled the space between his thighs. After attaching his head, I sculpted a collar. Since I wanted to have him shielding his eyes, I cut an arm in half and used a wire to repose it into the position that I wanted. I then filled in the elbow and the forearm with a blend of milliput and green stuff. After that, I spread the lab coat over his body like butter, making sure to cover the front, back, and the sides. Before adding the lapels, I gave him a bow tie. I then added his lapels and the pockets. When it came time to add the other arm, I thought it might be fun to have him point upwards at something. So I did that. After adding his arm, I realized that I needed to bulk the lab coat out a little, so I used some putty to correct this oversight. After this, I sculpted the sleeves on both of his arms, then gave him ears and a not too trendy hairstyle. At this point, I was prepared to say he was finished, and he was ready to join his other science lab partners.